So when you're going to be ordering one, you can just buy this and say what kind of color. With some of these creators, take consideration they are going to be made when you're ordering most of the time, and that is pretty damn cool. Nevertheless, what you're going to get already mentioned, real hardware inside of this case, and yep, it's a very thick boy. But how comfortable is it and what did they improve? With the previous model I had some problems, and this time I just wanted to see, is this thing actually really worth your money? Nevertheless, I already mentioned this is very thick, but in my opinion it's not a point that it's going to be uncomfortable to play. Holding it like this, I can tell you I've rolled myself a couple of PlayStation 2 portables now, but this is maybe one of the best ones yet. It's an 8.4 volts, and that is a different one that we have seen before. And I mean, some of them are even 12 volt, doesn't really matter. It comes with the plug, in my case, a travel adapter for the European standards. I think it's not going to be still very convenient, but doesn't matter. But who have ever thought there was a day coming that you can just buy a PlayStation 2 portable, or actually a PlayStation 2 inside the device itself. Of course, behind the PlayStation 2 portable we're having the fat model, and these things are made from the slim. At the left side we're going to get ourselves the D-pad, and the first thing I've noticed that the D-pad feels quite comfortable to play. The only thing that I found is that when you're looking at this particular part, pressing left, it feels like there has a different movement, and it also feels like it has a different overall, let's say, travel, but not to a point that's going to be quite annoying. The analog sticks are a very new and very nice one, with extra grip on top. At the front we will find an LED and some navigation buttons for the display itself and some volume control. They did an absolutely great job when it comes to the placement, simply because the buttons over here has been placed slightly deeper, and I must say the configuration is very nice. Volume control can be adjusted fairly easy, and the same goes for all the other features. We can change out the brightness, we can change out the backlit, and even the contrast and the saturation. And we also have different options that we're going to deep dive into here. For example, you can change the H and the V position if you still have problems with certain games. Next up, we can even change it out to aspect ratio, and I think that is pretty damn cool. So let's say we're going to put this on 4:3. We're not going to get any stretch images going on over here. And of course, we're going to get ourselves two speakers, and they sound quite nice. At the front we're going to get ourselves an LED I already mentioned before, and this will indicate how the battery life is. Basically green is great, yellow is getting okay, like around 50%, and getting into the red zone, there we're going to get the danger zone, because we need to recharge it. But one of the disappointing factors of this device is, in my opinion, the display. Where he completely dropped the ball with this. Why did they use such a weird display? And I mean, particularly not the size is not bad at all, but it's not even an IPS panel. It looks great on a certain angle, but here you can see it's almost impossible to look at to a certain angle. But when you're going to be taking a close look at it, I must say that when you're looking at the overall craftsmanship, they look quite nice. They have an amazing travel, not the same weird stuff that I've seen before, but this particular button, it can get stuck, what you can see over there. So I should maybe remove the button over here and just give this thing some more room. Next up we're going to get 4 shoulder buttons. They are 3D printed and very nicely painted. Then we're going to get ourselves the microSD connection, where we can basically put in ourselves the SD card. Already has been one entered in the system itself. And then we're going to get ourselves also the USB connection that we have seen before with the previous models. Another cool feature and a brand new feature that we do have the option to use an AV out. We are even having an optical out and the RJ45 for Ethernet. So where it's pretty damn cool that we do have an AV out port on this, and it works pretty damn great. If you're going to plug it in, you can just actually play your PlayStation 2 portable on your television. Where it is a very cool feature, you're not going to pay $500 freaking dollars plus for a device like this to play on your television. You can just grab yourself a PlayStation 2 for a couple of dollars and play it like that. I needed to reload. Over here they put a label or tape over the power supply. I'm very glad that they implemented the 8.4 volts over here, so I know actually what kind of power supply. I do have also the 12 volt versions. And here we're going to get the on off switch. When sliding it to the left, it will automatically turn on. But you can see nothing works, nothing does anything besides the display goes on. Pressing the button over here, it will boot up the system. But how loud is the fan in the inside? I can tell you, this is one of the best fans or silent fans I have seen in these PlayStation 2 portables. I will give you an up close with the microphone. So one of the features we can do is getting the 40p testing. And we do have like the best graphics what you can get out of an original system at this point. It is not really aligned over here. We do have a left black bar. That's a little bit of a bummer, to be nitpicky about it. Can we actually save? Yep, we can. For example, now we have created a save file on the memory card. There's only one memory card slot. Yeah, it would be cool to have a second one, maybe attached to it at the bottom part, so we can use a second memory card to transfer data. I must say that I've played on a lot of these PlayStation 2 big boys, but... So next up, let's try a little bit of Tekken Tag, and I must say that it runs pretty great. But if you love to enjoy yourself, just some old school games, Black or another shooter, I think it's going to be in quite comfortable handheld to play. But when it comes to the certain games, take consideration is that we do have a compatibility list. But so far, I tested a couple of games now and seems to be working just fine. Oh, like the old school days. You get hit, you're dead.
Listen up. We've got a regiment of mechanized SS dug in across that river. Division wants control of those crossroads, so it's Fox's job to clear that bridge for our army. Can't we get... Fight one. Ready? Go!
The construction of the shell is quite interesting because there are only 4 screws holding this together. So let's lift it up and let's be very gentle because there are some wires maybe strapped up. So that's something we need to be very careful. I already see 2 of them. So this is actually the shoulder button that he nicely painted. But let's take a close look at the main board and how everything has been assembled. Because I can tell you I've seen a lot of shenanigans, but this isn't that bad. So first of all, they are using the special foil over this here, and this looks nice. The tiny fan already lets you hear it. This is not loud at all, and I think it's one of the silent fans I've ever seen of the PlayStation 2 portables. Memory card, basically laying just loose on here, so that is a little bit of a bummer. Maybe I can use some poster clay to get it in a fixed position. Next up, we're going to get a main board here at the sides. Also here we do have some room. And you will hear that when you're actually like putting it on your desk. So the construction itself has been done very nicely. You can see they have special boards nowadays that you can just need to do. Let's put it this way, in the first generation we had a lot of, let's say, soldering and shenanigans going on. But now everything has been made so much better with special PCB boards. Then the soldering skills of this guy is absolutely amazing. So seeing this evolution of PlayStation 2 portables is very interesting. And yeah, beside having a minor cable management nightmare, beside that it's absolutely done right. Battery compartment over here, still using this piece that is just holding everything together. They should use some, let's say, putty clay you can put in here, but beside that, yeah, absolutely great. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? But let's talk about the weight of the device itself. So first of all, you need to go to the gym, or maybe not. Yeah, you need to go to the gym with 727 grams. So this thing is quite heavy. To give you an idea, so how was the weight with a Nintendo Switch? So the Nintendo Switch weighs 448. But also with the size comparison, when you're going to compare this with a Switch, it's by the way one of the things I have laying around. Of course, the Switch is very thin when it comes to that, and there's absolutely one thick boy. But still, when you're looking at the previous models, I think it's a lot compacter. But is it really super comfortable? Yeah, I think it depends also how big your hands are. Because if you have very small hands, this thing is not going to be very comfortable to play. But is it really worth picking up? You do pay a lot of money for it in the end. And you're just going to get yourself a PlayStation 2 portable. With emulation around the corner, I don't know how it's going to be in the future. Of course, this is no emulation. This is a real hardware inside a portable device. When you're looking at it, it's absolutely amazing that somebody can make stuff like this. But again, is it really worth that price point? That is something you need to decide. Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell. It will be great to see you in the next video.